So I am mostly ready. I'm gonna fix my hair a little bit and spray some cologne, but I'm heading down to dinner here in a little bit. There's some wrinkles down there, jeez. I even sprayed the wrinkle spray. Anyway. Good morning, friends. It is Nassau Day. We are here. Well, we've actually been here for a couple of hours. Sorry for the background noise. They've been doing all kinds of weird construction-y type things this morning, including, I think, cleaning out the septic system in the ship. And being this close to the bow, I've noticed that things are just extra noisy. I wasn't actually going to get off the ship in Nassau originally, but the people that I met on board, Paige and Ed and Doug, they are wanting to meet up at Señor Frog. So I've never been. I've heard of it. I don't know too much about it. I know they serve alcohol there and that kind of stuff. So we'll see what we see. But yeah, I am dressed kind of a little bit fancy for Nassau, I think, only because I'm wearing pants. You can't even see that. There we go. But it's because I have vitiligo, so certain areas of my skin are like turning extra white and losing pigmentation, as you know, as what happens with vitiligo. But what I found out yesterday is that vitiligo spots get sunburned, and so I won't show you. Maybe I'll insert a picture if I can, like get a good one. So yeah, I don't want that gross sunburn spots to be, you know, glaring in everyone's face. But anyway, the things you learn while cruising. That's it for now. I'll take you with me, and we'll talk soon.
So I went down and exited the ship and looked around the pier a little bit. Nassau's not necessarily my favorite port, but I do love the way that the ships look when they're all docked together in the harbor. And culturally, Nassau is really cool because it's a port where people actually live, and as a cruise ship passenger, you get sort of an interesting glimpse into their life, and you can sort of wonder like what it must be like for them on a daily basis. And that really goes for any touristy place where it's like a small town that gets, you know, the majority of their crowds and revenue and things like that from tourism. I've always wondered what it would be like to live in a place like that. But anyway, so the plan was for us to meet up at just about lunchtime so that we could go to Señor Frog's, but when we got there, we decided that we wanted to try this other bar instead that was basically right next door. The thing that was cool about this place was the location. It's out on like a sort of like gazebo type pier, so it's like completely surrounded by water. And we got around to drinks there and just kind of like, you know, talked about whatever and got to know each other a little bit more. And then after that, we did wave to Señor Frog's on the way by, and we went and explored Nassau a little bit. We just stayed in the immediate cruise port area and look through like the different shops and stuff, and there are some cool stuff in there, but as I've mentioned before, the people in Nassau are a little bit pushy when it comes to like trying to get you to buy things from them and stuff, and I understand that for some of them that's probably their whole livelihood, and so there's a lot riding on them selling things, but I actually feel like I would probably buy more if I didn't feel so overwhelmed by walking through the different market and bazaar areas. Especially if I were alone, I don't think that I would even entertain the idea of walking through there, but with people it's kind of fun because we can look around and be silly, and that's exactly what we did. When we got off in Nassau earlier in the day, we noticed that we were parked next to the Disney Dream, which is such a nice looking ship, and I actually have plans to go on a Disney cruise this year, so I'll keep you all posted on that. And anyway, we decided to go over there and get some pictures and video footage of the Dream, and my friend Ed, who was with us and who also works for Disney Cruise Line, was kind of giving us, you know, a couple of insider sort of details about the Dream and how Disney sort of operates and what it's like to work for them. And it was nice to get some sort of perspective and insight from him before heading back on board to get ready for the rest of the afternoon.
Alright, so I got back to my room from Nassau today, and I got this guy. I don't exactly know what it is. Let me know what you think. A sheep, maybe? With like overgrown fur? But anyway, that's day 3, and number 3, towel animal. So Carnival's definitely got their towel animal game on fleek. But yeah, I'm gonna change it to some swim clothes. Jeez, my hair's all windblown. And then yeah, I'm gonna meet up with my friends, and we're gonna get some food and go for a dip in the pool and do the slide and whatever else. But anyway, we'll talk soon.
So we met back up for some pizza, and Doug had some work to do, so Ed, Paige, and I decided to go hang out on the Lido deck and just chill and that sort of thing. We did the water slide, which was quite a bit more meandery than I was expecting. It was fine, but it wasn't easy to get a lot of speed on that. At one point I thought Ed was going to completely stop, but he didn't, and it was still fun nonetheless. And while we were up there, we said hi to the Dream again. From the upper deck of our ship, we had a different vantage point, so Ed was showing me kind of like some of the details that we could see from where we were at.
Good evening, friends. So I am mostly ready. I'm gonna fix my hair a little bit and spray some cologne, but I'm heading down to dinner here in a little bit. There's some wrinkles down there. Jeez. I even sprayed the wrinkle spray. Anyway, you might hear some background noise. We just left Nassau, and this is the most vibration I have ever felt on a ship before. It's not rough seas, it's calm. We did have a little bit of a storm come in, but nothing choppy. But I think this just an old girl, and see where I'm at in the ship is just very vibrating. So yeah, that's something to note. If you're in the nose of the ship, chances are you're gonna feel, it's not like rockiness, like seasickness type movement. It's very, like, I don't know if you can hear that. Just everything is vibrating right now, and you know, you can feel the propellers and everything just like working overtime. I know the ship did have some propulsion issues on its last cruise, and we were delayed on the front end of ours because of it, and they actually replaced the propeller, so that could be why I'm feeling so much motion on this ship. But it's pretty surprising, I'll tell you that, compared to like the bigger, newer ships I've been on in the past. But anyway, I'm dressed up a little bit. I don't know if I said this already, sorry if this is like repetitive, but I'm going to like their signature steakhouse here on board. On this cruise, we actually got sat like, it was me, a solo traveler, another solo female traveler, and then this like duo. The four of us were at a table together. And those are the people I've been hanging out with. We hit it off, and they had a reservation for the steakhouse tonight, and they added us onto it. So now we're all going. They were like, we can't live without you, I guess. No. So I'm going to try, this will be my first signature restaurant ever. I normally don't recommend paying for food, because usually the food on board is perfectly fine, like the included food. But you know what? When in Rome, do as the Romans do, or whatever they say. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. And of course, I'll take you with me, show you all the food and things and stuff. And we'll talk soon.
After a delicious signature dinner with a funly presented dessert, we all went over to the Venetian Palace Theater for the Love and Marriage show. I'd seen this event on the schedule for other cruises I've been on, but never really thought much of it. But then I'm glad we went to this show because this ended up being one of the highlight events for me. It was fun and funny and definitely an interesting way to spend the evening.
Let's see, Kathleen, what do you think George ended up putting down over here?
I don't know. I put an elephant because I wear a CPAP machine, so
Got all the hoses coming out. See, George, what did you put down?
I said a cuddly feline.
A cuddly feline. Oh, nice, but unfortunately not a match. What did they get?
After the show, we went over to the Alchemy Bar to have a couple of drinks with our favorite bartenders, and we also met up with a few of the people that we'd met, particularly a couple of girls that we'd met at the Alchemy Bar the night before. And yeah, so that's one of the cool things about going on a cruise, especially solo or in like a duo. You're definitely going to meet people. You just have to allow yourself to be social. After that, Doug and Paige decided it was time for bed, but Ed and I wanted to go up and check out the mega deck party, which was cool, but it was also kind of underwhelming. I sort of expected there'd be a lot more people there, but we grabbed a drink and then got into the spirit and went out to the dance floor for a couple of songs before calling it a night and heading to bed ourselves.
Hi friends, so I am gonna call it a night. We're in a little bit early tonight. It's only just after 11. We, as you saw, did a couple of evening events, the Love and Marriage show, and then hung out at the Alchemy Bar for a little bit. And we went up to the deck party for 15 minutes or so. And yeah, we're calling it an early night because we have something planned for tomorrow, but we'll talk about that more in the morning. But yeah, good night. That's it. Day 3 in the books. I want to thank you all for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all those fun things. We'll talk soon, and you all have a good night.